Well, hello there, Bingo-thon. Welcome to the match, the first match of Division 3 Finals between gamestabled and MrYhatoh. Both having, gamestabled having a little bit of a rough season, but still making it to Division 3 Finals. Yatoh having an amazing season. They're kind of meeting in the middle a little bit here. I'm excited to see the outcome of this as a fellow Div 3 player. Um, this is going to be a draft match. I'm here with Dingaman. Sorry, I
Hello,
forgot to
everyone.
introduce you. Sorry, I kind of overtook the commentary there. But yeah, both of these players, very, very good routers. They may not be the fastest players, but Yato has been improving his speed. Game has been playing quite a lot since he's been getting deeper into the playoffs. So this should be a really good series.
Okay, so I think at the moment we are close to getting the card revealed, so maybe we should first focus on looking a bit on the goals and going over the draft period, and afterwards we can talk a little bit more about the players, if actually the cards get revealed.
I know both players play red normally, so we'll see what they decide to do. It looks like Yato will be blue for this match. With a green draft, and Yato, oh not Yato, Game Stable will be red for this match with a pink draft. So
Sorry. Now that the colors are sorted out, I think Yato was going to draft first, if I'm not mistaken.
um, uh, yeah, Yato is
Yes.
drafting first. Heads, heads. All right.
So I think any moment now the card will be revealed, and then it'll be exciting to see what the draft bingo gods bring us today. Hopefully, it's an exciting card. Hopefully,
All right.
it is decided after the draft period, and we will have an exciting match.
Oop, turn off my invasion dots. All right.
So,
So let's look at this card a little bit. So good draft goals typically are ones that you are able to do within 30 minutes because after 30 minutes, your drafted goals are no longer yours. In the first 30 minutes, you're the only one who can click them. You cannot delay them at any point. So you want to look for goals that are very possible within 30 minutes. One of those is in the first row, turbo nozzle unlock. That's very possible to do, very doable. You can do that in a few different ways in 30 minutes.
I think one thing which looks solid and which Yado also picks up now is 3 boss shines. It's like
Hmm.
the most flexible goal I see on here, and there isn't like really a really fast goal which sticks out to me. Like the turbo nozzle, it's nice, you can do it in Bianco, but it still takes a
Right.
little bit of time and it stops you
Yeah.
from making progress.
Three
You have two
bosses.
hidden reds, Hoveless, 16 pin-up blues, maybe with 40 totals you can manage in a draft period. Also,
Uh,
I'm quite sure Mr. Yellow was a little bit over his time, but that shouldn't be a big problem like a few seconds ago.
yeah.
So we see 4 secret shines being drafted. It's doable in your draft period, but it's kind of slow. And then also the 3 foot ladies click, which I really
Hmm.
like from his point.
Yeah. That's a really good pick for Yato, and something he's probably going to want to do because he knows game will need at least one fruit lady. Um,
So from GameSpable's perspective, one thing which is still open is maybe a Pinna play. Like there is 2 hidden red Hoveless and the Pinna hidden shine. It's like kind of a
mhm.
stretch to get that far into Pinna, but it's certainly doable. Another way
Yeah.
of thinking is maybe combining 16 Pinna blues and 40 total blues with his 15 Alfinos to make a blue play at the beginning of the game.
Hmm. For sure.
But
Uh,
we see him picking up Serena, which is also kind of solid. Makes
that's
the
fair.
secret play from Yado maybe a bit more difficult. It is an extra boss, maybe working towards 4 uniques.
Yeah, these are
And it
very,
also helps him towards the blues.
very counteractive drafts so far. So
It's an interesting draft.
yeah, what is left that they can actually do? 40 totals is the lower totals goal. That could be done in 30 minutes by either of them with these drafts, I think.
16 pin
Probably
blues is
game favored.
16 pin blues is still very able,
Hmm.
doable. 40
Yeah.
totals indeed. Pin hidden is a stretch but doable, and the turbo also indeed.
Hmm. And Yatsu takes 40 totals in turbo for his last picks. Um, I like it. Definitely think it's gonna hide a lot of his progress. His draft is not really level specific; it's very spread. So Yato is gonna be able to do a lot of good setup, I think, in his draft period, based
In
off his draft.
general, just from the draft goals, I like the goals of MrYhatoh a bit more. Most of them are little bit less commitment for each goal than the ones from gamestabled.
Hmm.
As in combination with that, it just leaves
Yeah,
him open, gives less information. So all with all, I think he just cuts on top of the draft period. But now,
in game
in a
takes
little
40
bit, he has
totals.
to like actually start making a real game plan for the rest of the game, which is also the second part of draft. Like you can have the nicest
Hmm.
goals in the world, but if you can't make a game plan around it, it still sinks.
Hmm. That's very true. All right, so we're gonna get started here. I'm gonna have a timer running on the side so we know exactly when 30 minutes has passed, and timer is running on go. Um, so I will let you know as well. So I think in general, Yato definitely does have the better draft. It's less readable, but game will have a lot of shines in Serena for sure after the draft period. Maybe not for sure. And Dame also took 4 unique bosses. Now that's a little tough, I think. I think he's gonna have to sacrifice some progress towards some of his other goals to get that. But I think it would be a really good take from Yato's 3 boss play if he can
Yeah,
do that.
I don't think the four unique bosses, as well as the deep Serena, is possible in the draft period. It might be, maybe,
Hmm.
but
Yeah,
it will be rough, and like we will see.
yeah. I think also like Yato's 4 secrets draft is gonna be a little tough to get. I think both players probably gonna be able to get maybe 3 or 4 of the draft goals in the draft period, but I would like to see some setup, especially um, for some other goals in the card. Perhaps like getting to Pinna for those Pinna Blues or Pinna Hidden Shine. 3 rockets also a possibility. Um, and we
Yeah,
also have 3 totals goals on the card, so I
I
don't think
don't.
either.
Continue.
I don't think either player is going to want to shrug away from totals here. So,
Yeah, I think totals are quite important, and like it's really interesting to not see either 16 Pinna Blues or one Pinna Hidden Shine drafted, since Pinna is quite open and either contestable for both players. So
mhm,
it would be interesting if we see one player maybe do some early stuff and then like kind of same yours towards Pinna in the early game to secure those goals which are still out in the open.
mhm. Yeah, I almost feel like Yato should have taken 16 Pinna, because that would have synergized pretty well with 40 totals. And I think his draft is conducive to getting to Pinna in maybe 20, 23 minutes in between that range if he focuses the right things. Like Manta is probably gonna be the only slow thing in his draft, or he could even skip Manta, do Rico Bianco, and then do his 3rd boss in Pinna. That's also a possibility here.
Yeah, I think that could have been quite solid, but we will have to look what the players are thinking and how it's going to play out.
Mhm.
I
Yeah.
don't think for Yado there's much of a reason to go to Serena early game, but in
Hmm.
general, like Serena, it's alright. It is helps towards shines and secrets. It helps towards secret shines. It has the 18 Serena blues, the 6 pipes. But is it all that amazing to start out in Serena and just say like, oh, I've done
Yeah.
like the first 6 shines in Serena, now I'm behind to the rest of it?
Hmm.
Maybe not. But on the other
Yeah.
hand, I maybe we will see game stable be like, oh, MrYhatoh, I'm going to do Serena, and then he just rushes towards Pinna and gets a lot of Pinna value, and then still has the lead in Serena, since maybe he scares Yado away from
Hmm.
doing any Serena stuff.
Yeah. I mean,
But
I
there
don't
are
think. Go ahead. Go ahead.
but there are still a lot of possibilities, and it will be very interesting to see what each player decides to do in that draft period and how they want to start out the match.
Hmm. Yeah, I don't know if Yato has much incentive to go deeper in Serena beyond Manta, honestly, to steal 4 unique bosses. And even then, like, I don't know, like, I think he has better shot of getting secrets elsewhere, like even like a deeper Rico play, for like maybe a butterfly blue later in the match, and also 6 from 2. Um, I don't know. I don't think Yato has a lot of incentive to go to Serena here. Um,
Yeah, but
other goals, yeah.
I mean, what does like deeper Rico offer? Like, I mean, the fourth secret, like if you take Bianco, Gelato, and Pinna, the fourth secret can be either Rico or Serena. But
Hmm.
Rico, except maybe the secret, it's a rocket nozzle for the 3 rockets, but you're still kind of far away from that since you still need your third
Hmm.
rocket somewhere. It helps towards 6 from 2, but I'm not sure if you're Yado, if you're eyeing that in the early game. Maybe if you're seeing the Serena from the enemy, you are like, okay, maybe let's not focus that and see if it stays up for a little bit.
Yeah,
I'm not so sure what Rico offers instead of Serena, and like Serena 1 and 2 is still quicker than like Rico 1 towards 4.
for sure. Yeah, I'm thinking more of just like the butterfly progress. Like your butterfly here is going to be Rico. This Pianta has 0 value on this card. There's no reason to go to Pianta here. So like if you really wanted butterfly and wanted to be ahead to that goal and maybe you need it late game, your Rico progress is going to define whether you're going to get that or not. And I mean, it is progress for 6 from 2, but I'm thinking like late game stuff. For early game, yeah, maybe a deep Rico isn't that great, but it is fast shines, and if you're trying to get to Pinna really quickly, that's always a good route to go.
There's still one thing which I just saw which isn't drafted by any player, and that are the 100 coin goals. And like in draft, maybe like in this on this card you want to focus the pin and stuff, but there is a thing to be made to like maybe do an early Bianco 300s in a secret or a Gelato 100 in a secret a bit later in the match. Just secure 2 goals with 1 shine. It's a bit of a slower
Hmm.
shine, but it are still 2 goals, and they are still all left up in the draft period. So it might be interesting to see one of the players maybe not rush it, but do it in the draft period and just get some really
Hmm.
nice value for like 1 shine. And if you like say, oh, you can have the pin and stuff which is still left on the card, but I'm getting like one of the 100 coin shines, which
Hmm.
discounts for 2 goals, then you still can make that nice trade.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Um. Yeah, it's like 100 coin goals feel a little out of place, but they are probably going to be necessary for someone's win con here. That's the thing. The other goal that feels really out of place on this card is 4 Sandbird blues and Eel blues. That's kind of an awkward goal on this card, I feel. Also, 6 reds on here with no other red coin shine progress. But you do have hidden reds, so I guess that would be,
6 reds,
yeah.
hidden reds, and you just get some reds in Bianco and Pinna, maybe if people get there. So there are ways that people will get to 6 reds. It's not
It's not
the
impossible.
worst goal. But,
It's something
and
I think this
shines,
card.
shines and secrets as well works towards reds normally.
Hmm.
Let's see what our players start out with. I would assume that they just start out opening Bianco and afterwards will be
Yeah.
seeing if both of them ace some of the Bianco progress or are like, I'm opening up another stage.
Hmm.
With
Yato
three
showing off this
bosses
jump.
and 4 uniques drafted, I assume we see at least a PD and then with the secret value on the card and the hidden red Hovolus and all the stuff around it. I also kind of expect to just see them do PD into Bianco 3, but they might surprise us.
Hmm. Yeah. Both players gain Joe Blue. Um, that's good. It's free blue right at the beginning. Shows interest in blues as it should, because both players are going to be wanting to contest those blues goals. They're going to be, yeah. There's like pockets of 3 goals here. There's the 3 totals goals. There's 100 coin shine goals and red coin shine goals. There's just like pockets of 3. I feel like on this card that are going to be kind of essential for each player to secure. And then, of course, the Pinna value as well. Um, the player who loses to Pinna is going to have to contest some of that value, and that's always a hard call to make, especially when you're behind. I feel like too many players just avoid Pinna entirely, including myself. when it's really should be contested.
I think on this card, the nice thing about most of the Pina value, maybe except Rice Yoshi in Two Worlds, but depends on how you view it a bit. It combines into the other pockets. Like it's not a pocket on its own. Yeah, you have to like work towards Pina and make sure you're early there. But then it helps with a lot of other goals on the cards. Whereas maybe like the 18 Savannah Blues, sure it helps towards totals, but like the 16 Pinas does that as well. But yeah, it works towards secrets. I don't know. Like we will see what the players do. But for now, we at least seem to have two PD fights and probably also we'll see the double secrets afterwards. We see MrYhatoh with the slight lead at the moment, which
Yeah, GameStable got the linked in Delfino before entering Bianco. It's the interesting thing to know about these players is that I think they're actually pretty close in speed. So this is really like this match really comes down to pure routing, and how the draft shapes up their route, as opposed to one player clearly being faster and getting a big lead early on.
it's nice if you're playing against someone of your own speed, especially in draft, since then you at least have a feeling for what the enemy is capable of doing in the draft period,
Mm-hmm.
which is also a nice thing to know. Like sometimes if you're playing against someone faster, it's really hard to grasp like what they are able to do in 30 minutes and what they're not able to do in 30 minutes. But like if you're playing someone around your own speed, you at least have a feeling of, okay, I am able to do about this in 30 minutes, so my enemy will probably also be able to do around this amount of chains.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's definitely a challenge to understand your opponent's speed. That's what the importance of researching your opponent is. Ooh, MrYhatoh getting a head swing. Losing a little bit of a lead here. Ooh, I think we're on the same pit here. And I think Game just took a slight lead here.
And
Yeah.
while we're watching the PD fight, it's nice to say that both of these players were on seated on the top of Division 3, both slightly not making it into Division 2. Then they had to play only the last week of the playoff match, kind of destroyed their opponents both, and now they are in the final. Which is probably still well deserved since they got highest seed and yeah, just showed that they are capable of clearly playing some nice level bingo.
It's fine, Deathline, it's fine. I know I got destroyed.
I'm sorry, Brad Ghost.
Yeah, no, you're fine. I just had a rough row control then. Okay, MrYhatoh re-entering Bianco here. This is fine. 4 secrets is a drafted goal. GameStable also re-entering.
Yeah, I think in general, like Bianco always give nice value, and since you just wanna like, there's not really any reason to do Delfino shines on this cards. You just wanna do some level shines. Well, probably going to unlock Rico, and then we can maybe see a difference of someone going for the hidden, someone going maybe for Bianco 4, but I don't really expect it.
Yeah,
Or
I don't think.
someone going until Rico to just do the blooper, or maybe the Beyond or the what's it called, Serena play afterwards.
Yeah, the Manta. Yeah, I don't think Game is gonna go to Serena right away. I think this draft just kind of tells you, or this draft is kind of like telling of maybe like a later draft period Serena play. I think. Because I mean, you know your opponent's not going to be going to Serena with how much Serena value you've drafted. Like I would not be worried about that getting stolen at all. 18 Serena, like your opponent's not going to go deep Serena for that. If you've drafted 4 uniques, 18 Serena, 6 pipes, like there's just like no chance that they're going to be ahead to that. So
Yeah, but the one interesting thing what MrYhatoh might be able to call a game stable out for is like, okay, you've drafted Serena, and maybe he thinks about it a bit later, maybe he doesn't, but maybe he might be like, oh, you've drafted Serena, I don't think you're going to Serena, I call your bluff, and then just doing maybe Manta into Serena too, and then just a bit later just going back for the 80 Serena Blues and another secret, and just be like the 6 pipes and be like, heh, I stole your Serena, what you gotta do about it?
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what he decides to do in that regard. gamestabled doing Bianco 100 now, in a secret. So that play you're talking about, we could see that come to fruition here.
And I don't think it's a bad play, and especially if he's still looking to go into Serena, like you might be giving up for uniques. I don't especially know the speed of game stable. That might still be doable afterwards. But if you just combine this, which is a bit slower, with the Serena, which is a bit slower, with maybe the Delfino Blues, which is a bit slower, like all of it is a little bit slower. But there is just not a lot of like level progression, or not level progression, but like shine progression stuff here. Like there are some nice spin angles, but like Noki is just worthless on this card.
MrYhatoh also going back to Bianco. Very interesting call here.
But we see MrYhatoh entering 4, which still might be for the hidden. We might just see him do the reds. I really hope that he won't do the 100, but I think then you would enter 3, so I'm already glad for Yado that he won't be following.
Yeah, okay, he's not following. Just wants the hidden shine here. The red coin shine first hidden. Not the hiddens are on this card, really, but it is a shine and a secret, so...
It's a shine and a secret. It's a hidden red, maybe hoverless. I'm not sure if you want to do that as Yado, but there is a reason for it. And it's also a shine and a secret, but I already told that.
He is doing a hidden red hoverless here. Maybe he thinks that game is gonna hard commit Serena and won't have time to do hidden red hoverless. Because I mean, if you think about it, like, is your opponent really gonna do Serena 2 hidden reds hoverless? Like, is that really gonna be a thing they do? And you might just be thinking, like, yeah, like, they're going to Serena, like, how are they gonna get hidden reds hoverless?
I've also heard in the past that Bianco 3 hidden is faster with the rocket, if done optimally. Now, I'm not really a player who plays optimally at all, but...
I don't think so. I mean, I know it's not faster for me. Larvae is confirming it is not faster. I didn't think so.
Alright.
But yeah, yeah, that's also the case. He might just want the rocket for the 3 rocket skull. And that is perfectly fair. But it also, yeah, it also gets you that progress towards 2 hidden reds hoverless in case your opponent doesn't go for it. So, if he gets to Pinna first, like, you could also see him steal that with the Pinna hidden. And at the moment, like, he's definitely getting to Pinna first since game is committed to this hundreds play. Well, which it's not a bad play, but yeah.
Game is committed to the hundreds, but in the end, like, it's the only real difference in speed at the moment is just like a little bit more than a Rico unlock, so it's not even that bad. Like, if Game Stables wanted to win to Pinna, he can just do like 1 or 2 Delfinos and probably be an elite again. But now we see something very interesting from Yado happening. He's going to Serena. It's, to be fair, I don't really mind that much. The one problem I see with it is if he is going to do a blooper in the near future, he is telling Game Stable in the early game, like, oh, have him into Serena. Which maybe is his plan all along, but on the other hand, it might give away his share in Serena and lets Game Stable really commit to it. So it's a bit of what you want.
Yeah, I would hope that he's just trying to get a foothold here, and then let's say going... Oh yeah, but now you can't use Rico to get to Pinna, that's the thing. I think he's just trying to get a foothold here. Probably doesn't think that game is going too deep in Serena, or isn't going to go there right away. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how I feel about it personally.
So the one really interesting thing is that we don't see the Bianco 100 or the 100 coin in the secret sign click yet, which, I mean, it's risky since it is the first goal of the match. And Yado could possibly be doing it at any moment, since like we saw on Game Stable's screen, it's not that slow of a shine, and it still provides 2 goals.
What is interesting, though, is that game in Bingo Snake has already changed his color to red, so that could give some info to Yatoh in that regard.
And now we see
it is possible, Falcon. It's just hard. Finishing the Manta. I'd like to see. Go ahead. Go ahead.
So we're seeing the meta play now, and it's a really interesting start from YaToh, but to be fair, I don't really mind it. I still think Selena is up for grabs, and like forcing your opponent into deep Selena isn't the worst thing, especially if you already have the unique early games. At the moment you show Blooper, you are already like discouraging the enemy from either going to Manta or like even to Pinna at all, since it will be your fourth unique, and you're kind of already saying like, oh, I'm making progress towards Pinna and getting my fourth unique there, so why do you want to go to Pinna? And now we finally see the Bianca 100 and the 100 coin in the secret clicked. There's not really any reason to delay the 100 coin in the secret from game stable, since the moment you click Bianca 100, the opponent should probably realize that it's in the secret and the other way around.
Right. Yeah, it would be kind of foolish to not do in the secret. MrYhatoh finishing his Manta. Game now going to Gelato. I would like to see from YaToh now, like, a Pinna rush, honestly. I would like to see his third boss be Mecha. I guess this is fine as a way of doing that, is doing some fast Serena shines. Because after Serena 1, they're decently fast, so...
Serena 2 isn't the fastest, especially if you have to do a whenever with it, but the whenever is clean and he's getting in there, so...
Game now committing to his Delfino Blues. Thought he was going to Gelato, but I guess not. Maybe he's planning on finishing over by Gelato.
We will see.
I don't know. Is he not unlocked Rico? Yeah, I don't think he's unlocked Rico.
Yeah, but you don't have to unlock Rico if you want to go to Gelato. I'm not completely sure. Yeah, I think game stable is already at 5 shines. I'm not... Yeah, I should be, since he has the 100 and the hidden red.
Yeah. Got falling here. Oh, YaToh's bouncing on a blue here while standing on the platform. That's interesting. This is YaToh's second secret. Yeah, I don't know how I feel about that 4 secrets draft at this point. Like, it just seems like 4 secrets is a huge commit for like the early game.
I don't mind the 4 secret draft, but like not as probably not in the second round of picks where in which it happens here. It's 4 secrets is just a lot. Like it's barely doable in a draft period when combining it with some other goals. And it just most of the time tells most of what you have done, since it tells your opponent, okay, I have been in Bianco, I've been in Pinna, I've been in Gelato, and I've done one of the other secrets. And which one of this is for the enemy to spot out, but it just gives away so much information when actually done. And I would have rather seen YaToh focus a little bit maybe more on the other stuff he has drafted, like the 40 totals, like the turbo maybe even, then going for the 4 secrets. Is it just tells your opponent what you're doing.
YaToh leaving after the secrets.
On the other end...
Oh, go ahead.
No, you talk.
I was just saying. I already lost my train of thought.
On the other hand, if we see YaToh just doing Gelato 1 now for the extra secret, then going to Pinna, complete his third boss with Mecha, do his fourth secret in Pinna 2, get the Pinna hidden shine right afterwards, and maybe do the 16 Pinna blues somewhere in between, maybe in 1, maybe in 3, depending on if he has time. It's still a very solid draft period for him.
Yeah, we only have about 8 minutes left of the draft. I don't think YaToh has enough shines for Pinna, even after this. Game is still committing to these Delfino Blues, putting Gelato in the process.
And maybe gamestabled in himself made a call like, okay, the 3 fruit ladies were drafted by YaToh just because, just to take away value from my 15 Delfino, so I'm just going to do them, calling out that YaToh won't be doing them, and then still get the goal. It's a call you can make. It's kind of a 50-50 for each player, like, do I do them, do I don't do them, do I have somewhere nice the time for it, do I need some time to think maybe?
Yeah, I mean, you need 1 fruit lady for 15 Delfinos, but if you know both jelly skips, and I think Game does, as he mentioned, he did know an 11 Delfino route. you only really need one of them. So 3 Fruit Ladies does hurt your value a little bit, but it's not the worst thing ever. You know, Bolt Jelly skips. The game probably will ignore the other 2 Fruit Ladies. Since NBCs aren't on the card, like, it's not like Fruit Ladies have a ton of value outside of 15 Delfino anyway. So, but he is getting healing. Probably making the call that Yato probably isn't going to do it, just trying to scare him off.
Yeah, we will see. It's like if you have drafted 3 Fruit Ladies, normally it's one of those goals which is quite easily like, okay, it's close to the 30-minute mark. How am I on time?
Ooh.
And like, if you have some time left, you can start the Fruit Ladies. Maybe if the opponent has done it, you have wasted their time, and if the opponent hasn't done it, you just get the goal from them.
I believe game has sewer glitch. Those Durians were definitely flying. And that's gonna hurt him a little bit here.
And here we see, sadly for gamestabled, MrYhatoh also going for the 3 Fruit Ladies at this moment.
This is smart from Yato. I think Yato knew from the beginning, from when he drafted Fruit Ladies, he was gonna have to take that goal, take that value. It's definitely it makes a hard call for your opponent. As your opponent either makes the call like, oh, they're trying to bait me, or not, I guess. Yeah. Game. Oh yeah, game has sewer glitch, so you can't really do Durian Lady, as we have learned. Now doing barrel whenever. What a man.
So
I cannot do this shit.
I'm not sure if it's due to the time of the Bianco 100 or just in general being a bit more decisionless or having the worst route, but at the moment gamestabled is kind of not really like he has the nice lead of 2 goals on the card, but for the rest he's just kind of following Yato and he doesn't even know it, which is probably the roughest part of what he's doing at the moment.
Yeah, Yato doesn't have to click anything yet. He will once he's clicked Fruit Ladies. Yeah, neither player's gonna be in Pinna by 30 minutes at this point, so those 16 Pinna Blues, Pinna Hidden, those are still up in the air for sure.
And I really assume, I'm not sure how many shines Yato has, but I really would assume that he would really like to go to Pinna somewhere soon.
I think Yato has 7 shines at the moment. Probably will have enough blues to trade once he's done with his Delfino adventure here. I'm sure he will get enough.
And if he doesn't have enough, like Underbell or Chuckstar still really fast shines, and I think this is the time where you can just like pop in one quick Delfino to maybe take over the lead in Pinhead.
Yeah.
Especially since your opponent still hasn't shown anything for like a lot of time except the Bianco, but Delfinos aren't really strong, so why would you expect your opponent to go there?
Yeah, if you're Yato too, you probably see 100s clicking. You're like, oh, I have plenty of time to do Fruit Ladies. I can, at worst, even the Pinna race, like, by doing this. It is worth going for non-drafted goals if there's good synergy with your draft, or if like it's just a really valuable goal early on and it wasn't drafted.
Yeah, I think going for a non-drafted goal really depends on the card, but this card, it had some nice goals, like the Pinna stuff, like the 100 in Bianco and in a secret, and maybe in Gelato, but I don't know why you would do it in Gelato over Bianco, which just makes it worth doing it, and it also, like, somehow makes it even better to do it, like, really early, since if you do Bianco 100 and 101 in the secret, you just secure those 2 extra goals.
Game continuing in Gelato, getting a red coin shine here. I believe this is his second red coin shine.
MrYhatoh having a really nice time.
Oh,
no,
no.
no, 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 no!
That is so tragic. No! The guy just goalkeeping the durian basket. That is so funny and horrible at the same time.
Well, even before kicking the durians over, Yellow got rolled by the one NPC, the lady who was walking there, and then he threw over the durians, and then he got destroyed by the other NPC on the other side of the river, and then the durians despawned. So these are like really rough durians now for MrYhatoh.
Yeah, this is probably making him sweat a little bit. probably wants to be in Pinna by now, but
Yeah, I really think
Durians are just being really rude.
Yada was like, okay, I'll just like take these quick fruit ladies and get to Pinna afterwards. But
Wait,
now he's just crying a little bit. But like the second,
yeah.
the retry looks a lot more solid, and he's proving us that he is able to do it. He just was a bit unlucky.
Alright, both players unclicking their goals and clicking them. 3 fruit ladies for Yato, 2 hindrance Everless for a game. So game is a little sad about fruit ladies, but he also didn't finish Durian Lady with a zero glitch, so maybe he's not too sad about that. But now he's probably gonna put some pressure on Delfino Blues, which should be good for Yato. Yato keeps his lead. I think game now has the shine lead, but Yato will catch up pretty quickly here. We're at
But game
29
has like
minutes.
no knowledge on what Yado has done, so that's the other part. Like the draft period is almost over, and what do you see if you're game stable? You just don't see anything. So what do you assume? Like maybe a lot of general setup. Maybe you assume Yado has gone to like maybe Deep Surrender to take all your value away. You just have no idea.
Yato entering Pachinko for a red coin shine and a fast shine at that. My timer is at 29:37 right now. It's a little bit ahead of the stream timer. I don't know what yours looks like.
I'll just follow yours.
My timer was started on go. We have 10 seconds. 5. I'm unclicking pink.
Yeah.
2, go. Alright, draft period is over. Now the players must figure out what they can do with what they've seen so far. Game has a pretty sizable lead in goals right now, but I think Yato in general has better progress. Yato has 1 more shine than Game and Serena, I believe. So he could go and steal that Serena value now, but I think he's probably going to want to go to Pinna. Game going back to Bianco, I believe doing Bianco 4 for another red coin shine.
I don't really see, except red coin shine, what value is there in Bianco for. What I would maybe really would have liked to see from Game Stable is like maybe a quick Rico 1 to just take the 3 bosses. Just like if you are ahead in goals, it's normally not a weird thing to like just say, okay, I'm ahead. I want some more quick goals to just like secure I'm even more ahead.
Yeah.
And taking away the 3 bosses and maybe into the 4th unique would really, really hurt Yado at this point. But
Yeah.
he's making a call for Bianco, and maybe on the same note, he's thinking, okay, I'll do just Bianco for maybe PT, look if I have enough time for that, and maybe go for the turbo and the secret afterwards. It's our possibilities.
Yeah, I think he still has a chance to steal bosses here if he goes straight to Rico now. Yato's going to take a bit in Mecha. And he doesn't do honey skip, so...
It would be a really strong call from Game Stable if he goes to Rico now, but you might be assuming your enemy is also going to Rico.
No, he's going to Serena. Yeah. I mean, Game Stable taking the Serena value doesn't really hurt Yato. Yato still got his secret and a boss out of it, so...
Yeah, I don't think it's a bad call from Game Stable. He's just like continuing on the goals he was working towards and making some more progress. The bad thing about it is that Yado is mostly ahead to the goals which Game Stable is working towards, except the pure Serena ones and maybe the total goal. But on the other hand, like as Game Stable, you still have no clue what Yado is doing. And yeah, I would have liked Game Stable to try and put some more pressure on maybe Yado's drafted goals since he is in the possibility to do it. But for now, it's not a bad call. It's just working towards some more goals which he can secure, and then see how it turns out in the game. Will Yado be doing the pinup blues? I would like to see him just do mecha at this point to just really secure the 3 bosses, since it's not a slow goal and your opponent can be doing it any point now.
Yeah, I would just do the Pinna Blues in 3 at this point. Yato is at 4 secrets enter Pinna 2 as well, so I think 30 bosses into 4 secrets does tell Pinna. I think that kind of shows that a little bit.
I think I saw something wrong earlier, since in my head Game Stable already had Don Manta, but he clearly hadn't.
Yeah, I thought Game entered Serena. That's very odd. Ooh,
I've at least thought that I
advantage.
saw him going for the whenever, so maybe he like fielded it and then left. I'm not completely sure what
Uh,
happened.
oh, he tried to barrel whenever and then left. That's what happened.
Which makes the Rico call, which I made earlier, make a lot less sense. And now he's even further behind on MrYhatoh on most calls, except
Yeah,
maybe the pure Savannah value if he commits, which
Yato
is
will
still a
mark.
hard call to make.
Yato marks 3 bosses. It was drafted, so this is valid.
And as game
Um,
stabled, if you see 3 bosses clicked at the 33-minute mark, you probably assume that it's Pinna.
mhm.
But there is a big chance that Manta is one of them, or Blooper. You really have no way to tell. And with these timings, and you aren't just not really sure. As well as for the 4 secret shines, it can be Savannah too, but it can also be
Mhm.
Rico, deeper Rico. You still don't know after the 4 secret shines is clicked. All you know is that Yado is for sure in Pinna, which you could kind of assume already.
Yeah, this is Yato's first secret. Um, Game grabbing the Nokis for 18 Serena. Hmm. It's an interesting state of the match. I think both players are not in horrible positions right now. There's some calls that need to be made at the moment. I'm not sure if the players are going to make them properly. I think Yato should go seal 4 unique bosses. I mean, game has not shown boss progress, but I think it would be a good steal at this point.
I
To take
think
it.
at this point, Yano is ahead to most of the card, and he's just slowly reaping in everything he has been setting up for. And game stabled is a bit like, okay, it's 33 minutes. I'm not really sure what Yato has been doing, so I'll just sit here, do my Serena stuff, and see what gets clicked, and I'll adapt from there. Which is not the worst idea, but I think on this card and at this point, it's just like probably not the most effective thing which he can be doing. But here we see Yato at least securing the 4 uniques. Still doesn't really say anything to game stable, except
Yeah, the
that
horse
the last unique is. Maybe he will realize that the last unique will be Blooper, since Blooper is a
it's
lot
play.
faster than Manta. So like if 3 bosses was not a delay, which it was a drafted call by Yado, so he couldn't delay it. If he just instantly clicks Blooper, then game stable might think, okay, this was too fast. It should have been Blooper, and he has already told Manta. On the other hand,
Ooh,
if
game taking a death.
uh, on the other hand, if Mr. Yado clicks 4 unique bosses, like you
Oh,
aren't going to
game.
beat Wiggler.
Game taking another death in turn 2 is not looking good. He does have lives because of the 100 coin shine though, so it's not like he's close to game over, but this is gonna slow him down quite a lot, and he's already behind a lot. The one interesting thing that we could note is that neither player's really been hard focusing totals, and that may just be by nature of the card just not having a ton of lose value outside of 18 Serena between Delfino.
I think there's enough blue value on the card with the Pinna and the Delfinos and the Serena, but neither player really decided to commit to it, and it's fine. Like we see Game Stable having the 15 Delfino blues. Um, he's also going for 18 Serenas, probably has 40 really close by then. And now we see Yado picking up some quick Ricos, maybe wanting to finish it out in Pinna a bit later if he's able to take the chance. I'm not sure. But there are really ways to do it out. And after the 40, like 65 is just one like quick blue grind away, and then 80 is another quick blue grind away. And you can just do it at any point when you feel like, okay, maybe my opponent is getting close to the goal. I should really secure it.
Yeah. Yeah, blue totals on this card are kind of that sort of that thing where there's just another goal that you would rush, I think, at a certain point. Both players, whenever it's looking really solid this match. Yato delaying 4 uniques. This is fair. If you didn't see 3 bosses clicked before the 30 minutes, probably assume game hasn't done a ton of bosses.
You can delay it for a little bit, but I, I hope it gets clicked like somewhat soon, maybe like after a shine or something. Because
Yato,
like 4 uniques, especially on this card with Serena value, like isn't the biggest commitment and Pinna value. And there we see it clicked indeed. We see gamestabled making solid progress into Serena. He will probably go for the 80 Serena blues in the next episode. Get an extra secret. It gets really close to 40 totals afterwards. I think I'm not completely sure if he can finish out the 40 totals in Serena, but he will probably be doing that immediately afterwards. But then he has like hard calls to make on, okay, now I have like a few more goals. What are the goals I'm going to contest to finish out the match? And I think he has still a really big task to accomplish that game stable. I
yeah.
think at this point, Yado is slowly making, also grabbing some Pinna blues, I thought, but I might have seen it wrong. Nope, he's going for them. But on this point, I think game stable is close enough to the 18 Serenas that he should win the 40 total goals.
Yato falling down. Trying to get that blue. Yeah.
I didn't see game collecting any of the blue coins outside of the hotel, and also not inside of the hotel. So maybe he's wanting to do the hidden afterwards and doing the blues with that.
Yeah. Maybe he probably knows that 18 turns are out. Yeah, Yato has clicked 4 unique bosses, so now game knows that Yato has Manta, because why on earth would you go to Wiggler at this point in the match? So he might be thinking with the 4 unique bosses click, like, oh, he just got Manta, I got some time, I can pseudo delay it a little bit longer by doing Serena 4 and doing it with Serena 4 hidden instead. Get my 6 pipes and that at the same time. And hopefully keep him from taking that value. But Yato is happily moving along in Pinna at the moment, so...
And maybe also, if game stable to Rete for uniques play as a Manta, he might be saying like, okay, maybe you're going for Deep Serena now. I have at least one shine of a lead, so I can... Like Serena 4 is, I think, quicker than Serena 2. So I'll just do Serena 4 first and then beat you out to the blue totals, which doesn't really work in this case since Yado is just doing his happy Serena or happy Pinna.
Yeah, game does have 7 shines and secrets, so he does quick that. No more value in... Well, there's value in secrets. Reds are definitely valuable. I'm not sure what the Reds count is. Game definitely has at least 3 with that, and then he has Bianco 4. He'll have 5 after this, I believe. Actually, yeah, I think he'll have 5 after this. I don't think he's done any Delfino Reds.
Mr. Yado is in a red right now. He hasn't done the Pinna hidden yet, as far as I know.
Yeah.
He has done at least one in Bianco, but I think he also did Bianco 4. I'm not completely sure. And then he did Pachinko, so he's also getting up there.
Now game is getting the Serena Blues. Yeah, so Yato, the Reds race, I think, is a game favored right now, considering that he could go to Pachinko after this. Or some other red coin shine. It's probably the fastest one he has available to just finish out the goal.
So Mr. Yado showed that he had the Pinna blues, but he's slightly delaying it at the moment, which I think is fair. Somewhat fair. You just saw 7 shines and secret clicked, so you know that your opponent isn't collecting the Pinna blues at this moment.
Yeah. Also, 7 shines and secrets without Pinna hidden being clicked. So at that point, like with that information, and I don't know if Yato's reading it this way, but I would read that as my opponent has not been to Pinna. I have a huge Pinna lead right now, considering that they've holed up somewhere and done 7 shines and secrets and not done Pinna hidden. So Yato will be able to take that goal safely, I think, either now or in the near future.
It's somewhat of a call you can make, but on the other hand, like opening up Pinna and collecting the blues isn't that slow. But yeah, with not 16 Pinna blue cards not being clicked from your opponent and the Pinna hidden shine not being clicked from your opponent, I think it's fair to assume that your opponent is not in Pinna. But you can never be sure enough.
So now doing Jelly Skip.
Just getting an
And
extra
getting
blue
stuck.
for
Oh
the
dear.
40 totals.
And getting stuck.
I think he knew that 40 totals is in danger, and this doesn't really help him with the 40 total quest. The one thing
Yeah.
which is nice for MrYhatoh is that gamestabled isn't able to finish out the 40 total in this Serena 4, so that he has a little bit more time than he might have been thinking of at the start.
In-game now has 18 Serena and has to click it. So now Yato knows he needs to put some pressure on those blues. For sure. But game is going into the secret. So, or his 7th pipe. It would be 6 pipes, but it counts as 2. So
It's a pipe, it's a red coin, it's not the
yeah.
worst.
So Yato has a chance here. He can steal 40 totals, and he's only 2 blues away. So, because he traded 10. And returning to Pinna, I would be really fun to see him do Pinna hidden with the beach blue right now.
And now with the 18 Serena blues clicked, you as MrYhatoh know that your opponent has been committing deep to Serena, and probably in the last, yeah, what's it called, like 15 minutes or something, so you know that you're quite safe with all of your other progress.
Yeah, Yato probably feels pretty good about his Pinna value right now. Marks 16 Pinna and 40 totals at the same time. But now game is
Crying a little bit that he lost the 40 totals, but it's not the worst. He clicks the 6 pipes.
Yeah, game still isn't a good enough position with blues that he could still steal 65 and 80, but I think he needs to be contesting some other things as well at this point. Because now, like, I think he wins Turbo, but he's not winning any Pinna goals here. Yeah, almost dying there.
Well, Turbo is kind of up in the air. Like, either player can just grab a Bianca Turbo when they want. I think gamestabled is going back into Serena, which I don't really know why.
He wants Serena 2 reds, probably. I can't imagine why you would want anything else. If he does King Boo right now, I'm quitting.
I mean, yeah, it's a red coin shine. It's maybe you're 6 from 2, but is it really the shine which you have to be doing at this moment? I don't think so. I would have rather seen him like securing the turbo at least, or working towards totals, or doing anything which your opponent might be going for. And I really think 6 from 2, you can assume that it's a bit away from MrYhatoh, and the red coins, there are just quicker red coin shines available. Maybe
Game
even enough Vito.
Game has 4 in Bianco, and this will be 6 in Serena. Game has 2, 3, 3R, and 4 in Bianco, so could be thinking about 6 from 2, but yeah, that's something I think you're really going to push the late game, especially since Bianco is going to be your other world for it.
I mean,
and
it is just, like, if he goes to Bianco afterwards, he can get the turbo rather easily in 6. He has to do like PD2, that's a commitment, but
yeah,
whatever.
That might be in his mentality right now.
He gets another secret, so that are like 2 extra goals. He works towards opening up a butterfly, but then he hasn't done any Pinna, so I think that's kind of out of the question.
Yeah, Yato's just ahead to a lot right now. Like, all the Pinna stuff, Butterfly, Ride Yoshin 2, he's been delaying Pinna hidden. Also ahead to blues at the current moment, if game doesn't contest them soon.
Yeah, that's one thing which I really think gamestabled has to be doing. I think he needs to like secure the turbo soon, and then he also needs to start contesting the blues. Since for rocket nozzles, MrYhatoh is ahead. The blue turtles at the moment, MrYhatoh is ahead. The right Yoshi into world is MrYhatoh's. The 5 secrets probably is more gamestabled, maybe.
Yeah, I think game has What, Serena 2, Serena 4, Gelato 1. Yeah, game has a lot more secrets progress at the moment. But where is his last secret is the question. Okay, now game securing... Wait, didn't game already have... I think game has 6 reds, and he's doing Pachinko now. Game has 3 hiddens, Bianco 4. Oh no, it was only 5, I think. Yeah, Serena 2R was one of his...
Yeah, he has 4 hiddens and Bianco 4, so this is the 6th.
Okay, yeah, this is 6, okay.
And I think this is going to hurt for MrYhatoh, who's also at the moment trying to secure the red points.
I mean, I don't know. I don't think Yato's that sad about losing this goal. Yeah, game is definitely creeping up a little bit with the progress. He was a little behind, but I think now that you're kind of seeing like what Yato is doing, now Yato's clicked some things. You've seen that Yato has done a lot in Pinna at this point. Perhaps he's thinking of more of a game plan now. Now going to Bianco, probably to seal up 6 from 2, Turbo Nozzle, etc. Rockets right now, still very up in the air, I think. But I don't know if game has done Rico, so...
I don't think game has any progress in Rico.
Yeah, so Yato has a lead to a second rocket, and also Noki, whose game has not been to pin at all. Yeah.
So we see game stable getting some blues. I would have rather seen him like start the PD fight and then collecting the blues, but maybe getting a few along the way is not the worst call.
No, you would want to get the blues during the PD fight. Maybe he's just not familiar enough with the movement at the beginning of the fight.
And the one thing which is really going to stink for game stable with his DP Bianco play is that the rocket is going to go being grabbed right under his nose.
Yeah, and the other thing is Yato's going to get the turbo. So.
Oh, sorry, the turbo. That's what I meant.
Yeah, so game will lose a little bit of value there. He still gets 5 secrets. He gets 6 from 2, but yeah, without the turbo, it's a little sad. Yato also getting blues here, so.
I think game is getting in like slowly but surely a worse position as the match continues to go on, and like he started out in a lead, at least in a goal lead, but then didn't really contest the goals, which yeah, he had to contest. Probably didn't really see it and tried to like grab some of those batches of extra goals to put him again ahead. But MrYhatoh just having a more solid route, a more cohesive game plan, and better setup just led to him slowly taking the game away.
Yeah, I don't think it's over yet by any means. Like, I think blues are still very contested at the moment, and I think that's going to be very pivotal. Whoever decides to commit first. MrYhatoh having some trouble with his rocket storages. I think game is really catching up on blues here. Like, I think they're actually kind of even right now in terms of blue count with that blue collection right there.
Yeah, but
there we go.
Okay, let's just count some stuff. Like if game stabled, he still needs 3 goals afterwards. Needs 3 goals. One of them would be 5 secrets. One of them would be 6 from 2, and then yeah, I mean he could go for either Eel Blues or Gelato 100. So he's really not out of it if he gets both blue Toto goals. Yeah. And I think kind of the same goes for MrYhatoh, but maybe he has a bit more leeway.
Yeah, stream's struggling a little bit right now, but still fine. MrYhato's clicked 1 turbo. Game is a little sad about that, but I think he probably will still do Bianco 6. MrYhatoh now committing to Rico.
And I think this is about the time where you just want to go to Rico 3. Maybe Rico 4 for the secret, but I think that will lose to game stabled, but you don't know what game stabled is doing when you're MrYhatoh. And just collecting the rocket, getting some extra blues along the way. You know that your opponent probably hasn't done Pinna, so you can just hide the Yoshi in two worlds and butterfly for yourself, like your opponent is probably not going for it. So just contesting some
Is
extra goals makes it
is that
a bit nicer.
is that 6 from 2? He hasn't done Bianco 1, has he? Wait,
Uh,
2, 3,
mm,
3R, 4, 5. That's only 5. Does he have... No. Someone confirm that game only has 5 in Bianco, please. I don't want to unclick it without knowing. I'm pretty sure he only has 5 in Bianco.
I also
Did he...
think so. Oh, the
Oh, he has
100.
100. Oh, he has hundreds, 100 coins. Okay, we're good. Right, right.
Counting is hard. Counting is hard.
Yeah, I forgot he did that early hundreds play. This is such just so out of place on the card. Right,
It's
right,
not
right.
out of place on the card. I called it before he did it, and I thought it was a solid play for either of the players.
Yeah. That game is going for Bianco 6 now. 5 secrets in his grasp. Yato will win 3 rockets, most likely. Obviously winning Yoshi and Butterfly. And then, yeah, I
Needs two
think...
goals, so if he just commits hearts to totals afterwards, he's probably already
Yeah,
in game. And if he like would have sniped 5 secrets, which he might be like slowly going for, he would have been in an even better spot. But
yeah,
game stable not making it there.
I think Yato should commit totals right now. Like, he's so far ahead to rockets at this point. Game still has to do Rico 1, 2. Has to open Penna still. Is currently just doing secrets. Like, Game right now, Game needs to get back into this, needs to really commit totals, like, now. Before Yato does. Like, this really just comes down to who commits totals first.
Yeah, I really think like the person who click 65, at least when you click it fast and the opponent isn't close. Like if you can get both blue totals, you kind of force your opponent into doing both Gelato 100 shine and 4 eels or 4 cent blues, which is just too rough, especially for game stable.
Yato, where are you going? Yato is grabbing some blues here. Oh, he can fall there.
He has the rocket, he can just jump back up, but he
Oh, he's not
decides not
grabbing
to,
it.
which is also fine.
Oh boy. Game is going to open Penna now. After 55 minutes. Might be looking towards Inoki at this point. Meanwhile, Yato is using the rocket to get some blues here. I think both players are realizing that they need blues at this point. I think Yato now has quite a bit of a lead. This game has not been really focusing on the last few shines. Obviously doing in Bianco 5, but not...
The one thing
quite
with
catching
Pinna
up.
though, like with looking it, is like Pinna has some really quick blues. Like if Game Stable just enters and like does like 15 blues and disappears again, or like maybe a bit more in the park, then it would also just leave him in a good spot for the totals.
Yeah. The interesting thing would be if one of them won 65 and the other one hard committed to get 80. And then we see like a race for either Eel Blues or Gelato 100. That would be quite interesting here, I think. Because
It's probably the most interesting outcome of what the stuff which can happen at the moment. You see Game Stable going for the sum of the beach blues here, which is interesting. He probably counted out how many he needs. He still needs quite a bit, but
yeah, he's at an 8 blue deficit right now, I believe. Yato is 53, 7 blues.
I'm not completely sure if Game Stable is able to finish out the 65 in the park at the moment. I think it can be very close. But if so, he's probably in a better spot than Yado for the totals. At least if Yado just keeps on grabbing some slow boosts in Vico, then has to exit, enter another stage where he probably already has some quick blues and just search a bit longer.
Game got the 2 outside blues. Yeah, the ones in the sand. So Game can get 21 blues in Pinna. And I think that, yeah, I think that is enough for 65. But Yato can also just hard commit for 80 at this point. Where can Yato go for fast blues? He has Serena 3 open, so that could be a thing.
Just to surrender 3, surrender 4, it might be a thing which is worth your time. Maybe he goes to Gelato. Maybe Yato has some more Delfinos he can pick up.
He's also got Bianco blues.
Yeah, I think that also works. And we saw Gamestable picking up a lot during PD, but I think most of the Village Blues are still there for Yato. And just looking at the timing with the amount of blue Gamestable still needs and the amount that Yato needs, I think Yato is going to beat him at the moment.
Yato just needs to follow the 15 Bianco route, or 20 Bianco route right now.
Not even. He can just pick up the ones in the village and then be fine.
Well, he needs 8 more. It's the balcony, the river, cliff, one by the windmill. It's 4.
And we saw Yato pick up most of the ones outside of... oh, see Gamestable falling. We saw Yato pick out most of the far out ones in Bianco, but like the village ones are also really the quick ones.
They're all so close together. Yeah, I think Yato wins this, and if Yato wins 65, the game has to hard commit for 80. And I think in order to win that, he has to actually like hope that Yato isn't hard committing for 80. I think maybe if you win 65, you're not gonna hard commit for 80, but like I don't know how likely that is.
As Yato, you might be fine keeping up the 50-50 for like the Eel Blues and the Sandlord Blues, but it's probably more risky than just securing your 80 goal.
Yato has click 65 now.
But maybe like after clicking 65, you might be like, okay, now it's time to like collect my own clicks, just secure the right Yoshi in 2 worlds, which is still there. Maybe try and grab the rockets in Rico if you want to, maybe with some extra blues in Rico. Getting some progress towards Eel. I think I don't mind that play at all.
Yeah, I think Yato, though, knowing that game has blues, might say, like, no, I want to seal 80 totals now, which would be the best call, I think, since you're ahead to everything else. Like,
yeah,
I think it's almost like it's the safest play, honestly. And game is doing mecha. Very interesting call here.
I mean, if Gamestable wants to steal right Yoshi in 2 worlds, he can probably, since there is a chance Yato is overdelaying it, but it will cost him way too much. But on the other hand, he might get Butterfly back for it, so it's a really risky call. But if he calls out Yato overdelaying, then he might steal right Yoshi in 2 worlds and the Butterfly. But in the meantime, Yato can just be like making progress to so many other goals if he wants to.
Yeah, it's just a question of does Yato make the call to secure 80 now, or take his own stuff. I think he has enough time to get 15 blues somewhere, and then also get Red Yoshi 2. He doesn't have 2 Yoshis, right? I'm pretty sure he doesn't. He has Delfino. Hasn't done Pinna yet. Pretty sure. Yeah. Is this still, like, up in the air, depending on the decisions they make with the totals?
It is still up in the air, but Yato is like in the favorite position at the moment, mainly due to already having the Pinna progress over Gamestable and having the Rocket progress over Gamestable. And also being in the lead for Total Blues.
Yeah, Game notably is only 2 blues behind, though. He could easily take that goal. And I don't think Game's been to Rico, so he could act. I think he's actually going to take 80 totals right here, which would be. Oh yeah, I think this is why he's going here. I don't see any other reason why he would be going to Rico. Yato may also be thinking to do Raidoshin 2 with Rico 8 with the butterfly, knowing that he has such a huge penalty lead. What's happening?
I think Rico 8 is a bit too far away and would be too much of a commitment. At this point as Yato, I think like you just bluff that you are going to win for a butterfly and just leave it at that.
Yato's stressed right now. I think he knows that 80 totals is in danger.
I'm not
Uh,
sure what YachToh is thinking. We might have to ask it after the game, like how close he thinks the end game was and what was going on in his mind.
I
It's,
mean,
at the moment,
if
he's
game,
going to secure 3 rockets, and he's probably, if he finishes out the shine, also going to make some room until the 4 eel blues. But he might go and to the left side and grab the blues. He's not doing it, so he's probably going for the rocket at this point.
no, he's getting these blues.
But he's getting these blues.
Oh, okay, he's fine. He's fine. No. Okay, he could have just sprayed the wall there, but I think game wins this though. Game now has a 5 blue lead to 80, and the Rico blues are very, very fast.
I think he's going to win the 80 totals, but then he's still in a rough spot for the rest due to YachToh making a small Noki lead, having
Yeah, split play with them.
and having the pinna.
Yeah, I think Yato's position is just better. It's just a hard place to come back, especially when Yato's clicking 3 rockets like right now, or not right now. Yato's gonna delay that for maybe a little bit. There's the 3 rocket click. Game clicks 80 totals. Yato sees that, and now probably knows exactly what he needs to do. Yato,
Where
where are
is
you going?
YachToh going?
I think Yato might have fallen off.
Or he
I
just
think he does want to get the.
saw it too late? So the interesting thing is, what is YachToh going to do now? Like, he has to probably, in his mind, he probably has to contest either 4 Sandbird blues or the Gelato 100 coins. But we just see gamestabled going for White Yoshi into Wilt and Butterfly, and I'm not sure if you see this coming as YachToh.
Yeah, this is what happened in Desmond versus MrYhatoh too. You have a solid pinna lead. You don't know if your opponent, you think your opponent doesn't have enough pinna to contest, and it just becomes a very risky call to leave up the pinna stuff at this point. I think Yato will still win Butterfly just by merit of having so much Rico progress already. But
Like,
game can catch up with. Oh, but game has Bianca
gamestabled
6.
has Speedy and he's Bianca 6, so he just is like one really quick Bianca shine away from the Butterfly.
Yeah, game could steal this. Yeah.
It's coming down to the wire, and it's a very interesting first match out of 3. And I think the other matches are going to play it later this night, so we will see.
Yeah, we'll know the winner by the end of tonight. So Yato has to make the call now to secure pinna, and he is making that call.
He is making the call.
So I believe now, like, game can still win Butterfly, but then Yato still has the lead to Eel Blues, and
Like,
would just need Gelato 100. Ooh, it's gonna be really close. And
what is the time difference between like Noki? Wait, did YachToh finish out? Yeah, he finished out Noki 1. So I
he
think
finished Noki 1.
Noki 2, 3, and Eel Blues are quicker probably than Gelato 2, 3, and Sandbird Blues, I'm assuming. So as YachToh, you might think you're safe just like grabbing the Yoshi now, then going for Gelato 100, and if you lose, you can grab the win to the Eel Blues and just secure your win.
Right, Yato takes Right Yoshi into.
And I think gamestabled is crying at the moment. Like, he was kind of all-inning, hoping to win pinna.
Yeah, definitely the right call, but unfortunately just not in time.
I think YachToh, like, by doing Noki 1 first and just leaving his options a little bit open, made a really solid call and proved that he is here for a reason. And that is to win Division 3.
Game will probably win Butterfly at this point, but Yato just has to do these 2 shines and then go to Gelato.
Still very interesting though. Like, maybe it will come down to a Gelato 100 race, depending on who does it when. Maybe it comes down to a Butterfly race. It's like Eel Blues are still a commitment.
Yeah, these 2 shines are very fast. Yeah, this is still like anyone's game, I think. Like, it will come down to gelato hundreds, and both of them have gelato 2 open, so they have the faster hundreds available to them. If Yato makes the call to go to gelato first before finishing this, which I don't think is going to happen. Ooh, Yato is trying to be fancy here. I think Yato just go, Yato.
And Yato is going. And he goes, and he gets it.
Oh my god.
So it might end up like if gamestabled afterwards just Bianco 7 and just grabs the butterfly in 8, then it might come down to a gelato 100 coin race. At that point, you
Yeah.
see MrYhatoh probably exiting area. So I think if you're gamestabled, you should, after you get the butterfly, if you get the butterfly, you should delay it
Ooh,
well enough to get in
Yato.
the lead for the 100 coin in gelato. And
Yato is making the call to do gelato hundreds. I am so impressed.
Yato has been
Oh,
making all of the right calls, and it's really
Yato
paying off.
is crazy, man. How does he know? How does he know? Maybe, oh my god, he has no idea the game is in pinna, but maybe he's thinking about like the possibilities. Like, game could be doing pinna right now. He could be stealing butterfly. I should probably lock up gelato hundreds because I now have a big lead to eel blues.
Maybe with him like securing Yoshi into worlds, getting some Noki progress, and still not seeing the gelato 100 coin, he might be thinking like, okay, now it's my time to secure this. Like the opponent hasn't shown anything for a while, so he might be stealing my butterfly goal. And Yano doesn't really have that solid of butterfly progress anyway. Like he has to either do PD2 or like Yanta 1 to 4, which just you don't really want to do. So in that case, I don't mind the switch, but it has been a really interesting game with a lot of curveballs. And at one point, the one person looks ahead, the other person looks ahead, and now it's still getting down to the wire. But with this gelato hundreds, Yato seems to be securing the game.
Yeah, I think if game commits to Noki and Yato isn't done with gelato hundreds by the time game finishes Noki 2, it's still possible. I think Yato, with his hundreds knowledge, will probably finish this before game can get through Noki 2.
But if you're game stable, like what's faster, like Noki 1 through 4 or like Gelato 2, 3?
Noki 1 through 4 is faster. The first 3 shines in Noki are much faster than doing Gelato 2, 3, and 4.
But just 2 and 3? Like you don't need 4. Yeah, well, you have to sit on the sandboard for
you have to
ages.
sit on the sandboard forever, so
yeah, that's true.
You're gonna make the call to do Noki at that point. And there's nothing saying that Yato's in Noki right now, so like there's no reason to believe that he's in Noki anyway.
Well, the only reason you have to believe that he's in Noki is that like there has like quite some time has passed and the Gelato 100 coin shine hasn't been clicked already. But that's due to Yato doing what's it called, Noki 2 before starting the 100 coin, which is solid. Like it was a really strong call. Also doing Noki 1 before securing right Yoshi into worlds. Like he has been really making really nice calls in the end game, and I think it probably won him the match in the end.
Yeah. He's very close to finishing this now. Don't think game will have enough time. This butterfly is a bit slow, since Yoshi is all the way back to the beginning of the level. This is end up being a very close match though. Game really pulled out all the stops in the mid game, I think. Ooh, Yato missed 3 coins there. I don't think that matters, Cataclax, but
it doesn't really matter.
I'm not as familiar with Gelato 200s as I am with Gelato 3, so. Did game get the butterfly? Did anyone hear the blue coin? I can't hear it.
I didn't see.
Okay, he did mark it. I'm gonna assume that's probably fine. You would have heard the coin grab. Oh, we can't hear it. Oh, okay. Well, he probably heard it. Like, I don't think he would have marked it if he didn't hear it. Now game is making the call to Gelato 100, so this game is Yato's with this call, unfortunately.
And even if Yado wasn't in Gelato hundreds, I would have liked the butterfly delay a little bit to get game stable the head start into the hundreds, which also like doesn't matter at this point, but it would have been nice. On the other hand, you have no clue what Yado is doing. Maybe Yado was working towards his butterfly while you were doing yours. You don't know.
And now Yato's quick gelato hundreds game has not seen it yet.
Yeah, in this
Unfortunately,
game, like, what do you do? Do you leave to Noki? Or are you just going to do Gelato 2 since you're already in the Shine? I think maybe since you already watched the cutscene, but Yado has the trap card on his sleeve that he has already done, like Noki 1 and 2, so he's going to have a nice time in the glass pot, or whatever you call it, and then...
a bottle, yeah. Yeah. Yato's
goes
calls at the end in the end game were just insane for this match.
I think
Unbelievable
Yado's
calls.
call in the end game is probably what won him the match, but I think GameStable had a really solid position out of the early game, but missed some calls to put a lot more pressure on Yado, but secured some of his own goals, and then in the end game, I'm not even sure if he like really slipped up since his calls weren't bad, but he just got punished by Yado for doing them.
Mhm. Well fought match though from both players. I don't think they're playing right away after this match, which is probably good because this match has been very long. I'm sure mentally taxing. Making all these calls definitely is a difficult activity for sure.
I'm quite sure after this match we will get the first match of the Division 4 finals between Vipa and Mars, if I'm not mistaken. And then after that match, GameStable and Yato will finish out best of 3.
Hmm. So they will get a bit of a break. I'm not sure what they're playing next, but yeah, very, very close match. Yato just finished out his Eel Blues. Um, very well played by both players.
Yeah, it was a really close match, which is nice to see in the finals. It was a nice match as well. It's like a really long match, but like they have
Mhm.
clicked all of the goals on the board somewhat, so you can expect it to be a bit longer.
Yeah, they're
And
both.
they are both routers and not the speediest boys, but like I don't think any major gameplay mistakes have happened in this game. Like there's been a few deaths, but nothing too taxing.
Mhm. For sure, yeah. Yeah, but both players really showing that they earned their spots in the finals here, showing they're cut above the rest of Div 3. Um, yeah. I think, yeah, the Blues race was probably the deciding factor here. Like, if one player had gotten both Blues goals, that would have been over, but the fact that the two Blues goals went to two different players made this end game a lot closer, maybe a bit more stressful.
I think
Um,
if like Yado would have won the blue goals, he would have probably like secured the win. But for Yado, it was hard to get the blue goals due to the blues he had already connected, and GameStable had some bigger blues open in the end. And also, like that's mostly due to him having done 20 Serena, which isn't slow, but it's a commitment which Yado hadn't done. And then also, I think the turbo also really hurt GameStable. Like he
yeah.
had the time to go for it, but I think he decided to do some other stuff. I can't really remember what it was. Uh, and then decided to do PD instead of the turbo, which I mean, sometimes you can be a bit greedy, but like if turbo is on the card still at like 35 to 40 minutes, um,
Right.
it's a really risky call to just leave it up there.
Yeah.
But GG.
Game unfortunately cannot join us. He's late now. But that was a very good match. Both players playing very well. And they will play a second match later tonight. Yato up 1-0. I'm not sure if Yato will join us for an interview or if we will just sign off eventually.
For Yano, I think it's also a solid point if he just says like, okay, I have 2 more matches in like 1.5 hours. I just want to take this time and relax a bit and
Oh,
walk away. But
nope, but
Look,
we have Yato here. Congratulations on your win, Yato. For
thanks,
taking
thanks.
the first match of the Div 3 finals. That was a very impressive show, very close match. How do you feel?
Mentally tired.
We figured.
Uh, yeah. I don't know what happened. Like, I read just like some calls that make me take some decisions in my routing, and hopefully works. But it
Mhm.
was intense.
I think
Yeah.
overall you had the more solid route than gamestabled. I think in the end your route came together a little bit better and a little bit faster. But I think the fruit ladies hurt you a little bit at the early stages of the game
Oh,
because
that was a scam. That was a
Yeah.
oh, that
The
was
freaking
so.
NPC, man. It's
The two
so bad.
NPCs like no, you can't pass here. You can't take my fruit. It's mine, not yours. I was like no.
Yeah.
we were like, okay, if he goes to Pinna now and he just secures 3 bosses and goes to the sequence, he's in a really solid position. And then it took so long for you to get in Pinna that we were like, okay, maybe Game Stables is going to get it and then he's going to cry. But in the end, you were fine. So
Yeah.
it didn't even really matter, but you didn't know that, of course.
Yeah.
uh,
Game made the hard Serena commit at the end of the draft period, so you were fine.
yeah, that explains a lot.
And then in
Yeah,
the
because
very
he
end,
game clicks like really early. Seven shines in secret. Okay, not really early, but it was
Mm.
quite off. No, it was really early. Okay, yes,
Yeah, it was we thought it was
it was.
early too.
Yeah,
He
it's,
had Gelato 1-1R, Serena 2-2R, Serena 4, and Bianco 3-3R. So
you had
yeah.
100 in Serena 3, or in
Oh,
Bianco
and in a
3.
secret, yeah. Yeah, he had 100 shine in secret as well. So he had a lot of shines and secrets. But
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
let's go
That
back.
that's also was like a commit of time. So
Yeah, let's
okay.
go back to the draft for a second.
Mm-hmm.
So obviously you clicked 3 bosses first. That was a really good click.
Yeah.
In general, we liked your draft a lot.
Thanks.
I wasn't sure about like the turbo nozzle unlock click.
No, the turbo was what else can I click?
Yeah. No,
Was
I
that?
mean, we thought that maybe you could have taken some pin blue value to get synthesizer 40 totals a little bit.
Since
That could have been nice.
Mm, no, yeah, the thing with $40. No, I did like the $40, but it was like okay. After that, what can I have? Because 16 Pina Blues and one hidden Pina Shine with the draft I get, I was like, nah, this is no way I can do that.
Okay.
Like before the draft ends. So I was like, okay, I need to take something that it's possible to get
Mhm.
at least, and that was the
Yeah.
turbo for me.
Okay.
yeah,
Okay.
the one thing we wouldn't really have minded that much if you were just wouldn't have drafted the 4 secrets maybe in the second round since it's still quite of a commit. But on the other hand, if you can get it in Pinna,
Yeah.
it's fine. And maybe like have said like, okay, I want the Pinna Hidden Shine or 16 Pinna Blues and just make a strong
Mm.
Ah,
flame in there.
Yeah.
Or like we saw game stable going for in the beginning of the game, maybe just grabbing one of the 100 coin shines and just like make sure the opponent doesn't get the full value in the early game and just leave it up for the mid game if you maybe ever feel like going for it.
Yeah. Yeah, we're being rushed out a little bit here. Obviously, the match went kind of long, so we got to get to the next match. But
it
very
was.
well played match from both of you. And
And
GG's.
also very great calls in the end game. You really should watch this game back and then just see your end game calls and just like smile at
Yeah,
yourself.
they were
Grab a basket of
insane
popcorn,
calls.
watch it back after the final ended, and just enjoy your calls in the end game. It was very spicy, very nice, very flavorful,
Hmm.
and
Yeah.
it hands down won you the match in the end. And I wish
Hmm.
you the best of luck during the rest of the finals later this night.
Yeah, because we get the game 2 and game 3 today.
Hmm. It'll be interesting to see what happens. All right.
Yeah.
Thank you everybody for watching this match. Coming up next is Mars versus Vipa, and be sure to stay tuned. That is the Div 4 finals, and it'll be really hype. So stay tuned.